International fugitives pose a significant challenge for police forces across Britain and Europe. These individuals are criminals who have escaped to other countries to avoid facing prosecution and imprisonment for their alleged offences. Periodically, major law enforcement agencies like Interpol or the National Crime Agency launch new operations aimed at bringing these fugitives out of hiding. Such efforts often spark public interest, particularly in how these individuals manage to survive abroad for extended periods without a legitimate source of income. But have you ever wondered how these fugitives manage to leave the country undetected? This is the fascinating story of how two experienced members of a UK crime gang exploited their deep understanding of the United Kingdom's passport system to help fellow gangsters escape from the UK to Europe. Anthony Beard and Christopher Zietek, both men in their 60s from Sydenham, southeast London, were apprehended following a covert surveillance operation by the National Crime Agency. They were found to have supplied fraudulently obtained genuine passports, also known as FOGs, to organised criminals over a period of at least 5 years. Zietek split his time between South London, Ireland, and Spain, and was described by police as leading a cash-rich lifestyle with connections to British gangsters across Europe. Formerly a bodybuilder, Zietek, who changed his name from McCormick by adopting his wife's maiden name, was believed to have been one of the most feared enforcers for the notorious Adams family when their crime syndicate was at its peak. In 1999, he was charged at the Old Bailey with attacking Mayfair financier David Mackenzie, who owed the Adams family £1.5 million. Despite DNA evidence tying him to the brutal assault, Zietek was acquitted. Little is known about Beard's personal life, but he reportedly used the identities of vulnerable individuals he encountered in rehab centers and homeless shelters during his own battles with addiction. Another member of the group, Alan Thompson, a 72-year-old from Sutton, played a supporting role by driving the main perpetrators and handling tasks related to the scam. During the court case, Thompson's solicitor argued that he was drawn into the scheme due to boredom and manipulation. The investigation into this scheme began in 2017, led by the National Crime Agency, in collaboration with the Dutch National Police and Her Majesty's Passport Office. This operation has been one of the most significant conducted by the NCA in recent years. Beard and Zietek exploited vulnerable individuals, often those struggling with alcohol or drug issues, who were similar in age and appearance to their clients. These lookalikes agreed not to apply for any documents in their own names, while the fraudulently obtained genuine passports were active. In exchange, they were paid around £2,000 to £3,000 for providing their expired passports. These expired documents were then used to apply for new passports, with the criminals' photos substituted. The pair specifically targeted individuals whose passports were close to expiring because renewals, unlike new applications, do not require an in-person interview. Beard was highly skilled in obtaining these fraudulent passports, and investigators believe he had been involved in such activities for 20 years. He managed every aspect of the process, from organizing and collecting application forms to planning the information provided by both the applicant and the counter-signatory. His fingerprints were found on numerous forms, and the contact numbers he used were linked to multiple burner phones under his control. Handwriting experts confirmed that Beard completed most of the application forms, and a voice recognition specialist identified him as the person who contacted the passport office, impersonating the applicants. The NCA also obtained audio recordings from Zietek's home, capturing incriminating discussions between Beard, Zietek, and others about the application processes and their clients. In a covert video, Beard was filmed paying for passport photos for a client at a Snappy Snaps branch. The criminal's clients paid between £5,000 and £20,000 for these highly sought-after passports, which, though issued legitimately, were obtained using false information. These documents enabled the criminals to operate abroad and continue their illegal activities, impacting the UK. The scale and reputation of Zietek and Beard's clientele demonstrated the high level of respect and trust they commanded in the criminal underworld. They even expanded their operations to include providing false Latvian documents to certain criminals. Among their clients was Christopher Hughes, who was wanted by Police Scotland for the murder of Dutch blogger Martin Kok. As the investigation made it increasingly difficult to obtain British passports, Zietek and Beard began offering these alternative documents. In December 2019, Zietek arranged for Latvian documentation to be delivered to Hughes in Portugal. Rather than travel himself, he paid a woman to make the trip. Recordings captured Zietek advising the woman on how to avoid detection at the airport and what to say if questioned. The false Latvian passport for Hughes was disguised as a Christmas gift, wrapped and placed in a Garmin Edge box. Before her flight, NCA officers secretly searched the woman's baggage and discovered the passport, which contained DNA evidence linking it to Zietek. The woman successfully delivered the passport to Hughes at a hotel in Portugal and returned to the UK just an hour later. Anthony Beard had strong connections in Scotland and supplied passports to other members of the gang associated with Hughes. During his trial, it was revealed that Beard provided a passport to James Gillespie, the leader of the crime group. Another passport was issued to Jordan Owen, who was wanted for the murder of Jamie Lee in Castlemilk, Glasgow, under the alias Lee David Bowler. The duo's operation also extended to high-profile criminals outside the UK. Irish crime boss Christy Dapper Don Kinahan was caught using a fake passport at Madrid airport in April 2010 while attempting to board a flight to Brazil. During a 2-year surveillance operation, investigators discovered that Kinahan was using the alias Michael Leslie Swift and traveling under a British passport likely provided by Zietek and Beard. Other notorious figures benefiting from their services included Jamie Accourt, a drug dealer and suspect in the murder of Stephen Lawrence. Accourt evaded capture for over 2 years using the alias Simon Alfonso. Accused of leading a $3 million drug smuggling operation, he was eventually arrested as he left a gym in Barcelona and sentenced to 9 years in prison for conspiracy to traffic around 750 kilograms of cannabis. Although a fake passport was arranged for Accourt by Beard, it never reached him. Another notable client was Michael Moogan, one of the UK's most wanted fugitives, who was arrested in Dubai in April 2021. Moogan, from Croxteth, Liverpool, had fled in October 2013 after a raid on a cafe in Rotterdam, suspected of being a meeting place for drug traffickers and cartels. The cafe, De Ketel, was a private venue with a strict entry system for known associates. Moogan was linked to a conspiracy to smuggle hundreds of kilos of cocaine into the UK every month. Dubai police believed that Moogan entered the UAE under a different identity, using a passport obtained from Zietek and Beard. He also had a German passport, as well as a driver's license and citizen card in the name of Michael Deere, all featuring his own photograph. White-collar crime often carries relatively lenient sentences compared to other offenses. Criminals might assume that committing fraud will result in a brief prison stay, after which they can quickly return to their old ways. However, in this particular case, the authorities ensured that wouldn't happen. Zietek, Beard and Thompson were initially sentenced at Reading Crown Court in May 2023. However, on August 25th of the same year, the Court of Appeal determined that the sentences for Zietek and Beard were too lenient and decided to increase them. As a result, their combined sentences were extended to a total of 22 years. Zietek's sentence was increased from 8 years to 12 years, and Beard's from 6 years to 10 years and 2 months. Thompson's 3-year sentence remained unchanged. That's it for today's video. We're working hard behind the scenes to create more content for you to enjoy. It would really help the channel grow if you could like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next one.